honest, that I was going to discuss lures, but I thought the best option probably would be to discuss what other equipment you need. You know, you've selected what trap you're going to need. If you're going to do it full time, then I think the next point or the next part of your equipment, especially for money investment, would be a GPS. That would probably be the next best thing to invest in, to be honest, if you've got the money. You've got a few different options. Like, you can use these topo maps on your phone. You can get different apps and stuff, but that's only good if you're in an area with service. You got, you know, just your standard sort of GPS, or I use my dog tracking GPS, which that's basically a Garmin 64 but with dog tracking capabilities. And the main reason I say that is because if you're going to be doing it full time, it is bloody handy to have a GPS for either marking your trap sites, but mainly you've looked on your computer at home, you've worked out where you want to trap. You might be able to either take the coordinates from there, transfer them onto your GPS and work out where you want to start, or just to get references for ridges and stuff in regards to the topo lines and that sort of thing. And yeah, the next thing is some flagging tape. If you're going to be able to track private land, then really a GPS is probably just a waste of time, because you're either going to be able to ride a bike everywhere, or you don't really need to have too much reference points or anything in regards to ridges, because it's not like you're probably going to have, you know, 10,000 hectares or whatever that you're going to try and look through and cover. So flagging tape is all you're really going to need for marking traps, unless, yeah, they're pretty much just on tracks. There's not really any point in marking them. But yeah, in public land, then of course you're not even going to be able to trap on the track. You have to get off the track about 100 meters or so. So flagging tape, yeah, it's sort of, if you're in an area that there's not too many people, then use it, but still just be mindful of how much you use it and how obvious you're going to make your traps, because you just got to be careful with people out there these days. They might just come along and nick them. That's where the GPS might be better, but the good thing with the flagging tape is, at least if you have it up to say just by all your traps and not have to mark a track, then you should never lose traps. In theory, if you follow your GPS tracks, you'll see your flagging tape and know that your traps at below the flagging tape or behind the tree or whatever. And the best colour, of course, is pink. It sticks out in all the different types of bush and any weather. A lot of people use yellow or blue, but I've found pink's the best. And yeah, that's really what you're gonna need for marking your traps and keeping track of where you are and all that sort of thing. And then of course staples, post staples are the best, the longer ones, and barbed preferably, if you don't want your trap to be pulled away easily, especially if a deer put its foot in it, or a young pig or whatever. Sometimes they can rip them out if their foot doesn't come out of the trap straight away. You can use non-barbed, there's not really much of a problem with that. And then a hammer, I carry generally a hammer with a blaze orange handle, just because then if you put it down you shouldn't really lose it. And I also carry a stick of manuka, and that's what I use to knock my possums on the head. I don't use a hammer. I just give them a whack on the head, straight between the ears, and then I also stick them and bleed them out, because what that does is it kills them instantly, definitely, and it helps release the fur quicker. So when you're plucking, you can just rip through a lot more than a lot of guys. Like I'll be able to pluck 3 possums in a time that sometimes I've seen guys have to wait to be able to just pluck one. So it speeds your day up. And then yeah, a pack if you're going to be walking, of course. That sort of all comes down to, if you're just having to, if you're carrying 100 traps at a time or something, then you're obviously going to want a decent pack that has a lot of support. If you're just going to be carrying 20 or 30, then just a small pack will do the job. Kmart one, warehouse, doesn't really matter. Depends on really how much money you want to spend on that sort of thing. And yeah, and then something to carry a lure in. I just generally use a milk bottle, 3-litre milk bottle, and that can attach to a belt quite easily through the handle. Or another option is you get those bottles that have the big opening at the top that you usually get with washing fucking liquid stuff that you put in your washing machine for washing your clothes. They're also another good option. They're usually about 2 litres. So yeah, I think that basically covers the basics of the equipment you're going to need. Your traps, a GPS if you're going to be doing it full time on public land especially, flagging tape, hammer, staples, lure, and it would be handy to carry a slasher or silky saw if you're doing any walk lines. Doesn't matter whether you're on public or private. It just helps for clearing away crap where you're walking every day. And around traps, you might find a spot that possums have been coming to, but there could be a whole heap of shit around it, and you don't want the possum getting caught in a trap and then ripping half of its fur out on blackberry and stuff, so you can clear it away. But yeah, I'll talk about lures in the next video, which will be pretty brief. It's very basic. But yeah, anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.